What I'm going to do in this one is to look at the book called The Orchestra and How to Write for It. And it's a practical guide to every branch and detail of modern orchestration, including full particulars of all instruments now in use and rules for their combinations and numerous exercises and over 200 useful examples for modern works. What I want to do is grab a few of the examples and see how easy they are to read, to look at, and to add to finale. This book was written back in 1898, and it's a Google Docs book. The table of contents looks like there's more than one part to it. There's a part 1, part 2, part 3. It looks like a sizable book, not too huge. So the first chapter deals with strings and the different voicings for strings, and I've done some of those already. In chapter 2 is how to write for strings, some string passages, and talks about the winds and other instruments in this chart. What I'm going to actually do is go down to page 50 and look at what's going on with the I think probably horns and woodwinds or something. Let me see what's on page 50 to enter into finale. What I decided to do is example 80, which shows a flute passage, and it shows a pretty good run. I'm kind of wondering how that's going to sound and how difficult it might be to put that in. It's fairly short: 1, 2, 3, a very large 3 measure, 4. So that's the challenge. So this is finale 2012. What I'm going to do is use the document wizard to set this up, and here are ensemble categories. If I want to do an ensemble, which I don't, I just want a particular, pick a woodwind, and since I'm going to be doing a passage on a flute, I'll select the flute, and I'll go ahead and move through it. And this is the Hungarian Rhapsody number 2. Okay, and I guess I'll go ahead and put the composer of this song in. Yeah, that'll get me to the next step. 2/4 time. I'll just put a placeholder so that'll come up. Not sure what to call that yet. Key of D. No beginning, just starts right in. And I'm not gonna use these 31 measures, so I'll make it easier on myself and just tell it 5 measures. Okay, it's coming up. And I'll begin with, I do have my keyboard connected. I'm using a MIDI instrument, and I'm going to use some, well, I'm going to use that to enter. I'm going to play through here, but my setup device for entering is from, it's going to automatically, and it's called Turtle Beach, which is a USB to MIDI connection. Turtle Beach, if you don't have a connection for your keyboard to your piano, I recommend that. That's a pretty good one. So I've changed the speed of the flow because it's a very long passage, very complicated passage, and lots of notes. So I'm just assuming it goes slow. Next note is also a D, and I have to add some grace notes. So I'll do a grace note of the 32nd note variety. I'll just go ahead and click those in. That's 1, and the other. Okay, so one's a C and one's a D. That's good. Measure 3, if you recall, it has the long passage here. That's going to be 25 notes. So in finale, Got to do some special stuff to make that happen. So for this measure, I'll go ahead and get rid of the grace note function. I'll leave 30-second functions. I'll play A note, and I'll make it the F sharp, and then I'll come up to that triplet sign and then select it. And what I want to do is tell it I want to put 25 notes in the space of a 1/8, which is 2/16, or 4/32. See if it'll allow me to do that. So let's begin that. Hit that. And where's my 30 seconds again? Time to hit my second note. Now I can begin to type that. That's not going to mess it up. So that's an E. C. Sharp. It did take a sharp. Right. And that's the 25th note. I'll play this next note, which is a C sharp. Now it's telling me that that note, and I'll go back to this sign and click on that note, that I need to put 22 notes in the space of 4/30. So I'll try that. So the first note is there, not going to mess with that. Take the second note, which is a E. With my MIDI keyboard, add the rest of them. E, G, A, C. Then it comes back down from the B. Then the next note is a 8th note, and that should end that measure. So the next measure, the last measure, is here, and it looks like it has some grace notes from here to there. That'll be interesting to see if that can flow that way. Let's try it. So it shows a whole quarter note being typed in, and that quarter note is a D. And then everything else is grace notes of the 30-second variety. See if it'll read it right off the bat. It did. Undo those two. It's actually showing a sharp. So I'll hit the plus key. Okay. G sharp, hit the plus key again. A sharp, plus key. D, E sharp, C. And then get rid of the grace notes and make it a quarter note. And it's back to the D again. And it fills it up. Great. Oh. What I want to do now is to begin to enter all of these signs here, along with the breath marks for the flute, and then play it. Let's see how well it goes in. Let's try it. Okay, in order to get this mark, that's this sign, I'll just click that. It shows me it's a T. So I'll pull that up, and I'll do it again, this time holding the T down. Here it is over here again. And again. And I'll go back to the view, page view. It spreads it out just a little bit better. This also has a fermata. I know that's the F key. There it is. And I'll put the tremolo down there and the fermata above it. And now I want to tie everything together with the slur tool here. So it slurs from here to here. And it slurs from here all the way down to here. From here to here. Here. To here. Here to there. And that one just and let's see, I got another one of those right here. Select that, yeah. The last time I just hit the S key to put that dot under, and it goes over it, but I put it underneath. There's one there, one there. Last one time, I want to add one more slur from here to the end of these grace notes. That pretty much mimics what is in the book. And so I'll go ahead and add some dynamics, add a piano sign, excuse me, then a forte, and then use a mark that says slow it down, diminished, and that's it. So it looks like it's ready. I moved this up just a bit to move these together, and then I shrunk by using this tool, the page layout. I resized the page from 100 to 91. So I like the way it looks. I haven't played it yet to see how it goes, but the instruments I'm using is a Finale VST, and the VST bank is the ARIA player. So that's what it pulled in. I could change it to other sounds too. Let's hear that, how that sounds. Should be pretty nice. Very good. And if I wanted to, I can just do this, slow it down just a tad bit. Let's say, for instance, I think I take it down to 30. We'll see in just a second. Set the value to 30 here, which is actually what changes the speed, and play it again. A little bit more dramatic. It does match, does look like it. Here's what's in the book with all the songs. I didn't put that on there, and I didn't put a couple of others on here, but it does mimic, and you're able to hear it. Plays back pretty well in Finale. Very good.